T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's your career affirmation. You're going to rock that interview and get that job.
Hello, good morning. Happy social Saturday. This place is like a busy New York street vibe to me. And I was like, you know what? I've been like sitting on the side watching everybody run around and have an awesome social Saturday. And I was like, I'm going to get in this game and have some fun, be social, be of service, and be your career BFF. I am a recruiter with 15 years of experience. I am an active recruiter, and I am a job search strategy coach, really elevating job seekers' confidence, their energy, their vibe, and giving them focused and fulfilling strategies that can help them accelerate opportunities while tapping into their inner knowing, their purpose, their passion, and really focusing on that fabulous self-love. So I have had quite a bit of coffee this morning, a little shaky, but I was getting ready. I don't know about y'all, but on Saturdays, I like to stay in my pajamas as long as possible. And I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, it is after 10 o'clock. I probably should not come to my live with my heat miser hair. So I showered for you all, but I did not get a chance to grab my coffee because as soon as I put my red lip on, I looked down and it's like 10:28. I was like, what? So grabbed Aurora. She's well positioned on the couch and we're ready to go. So we have so many amazing humans here today. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Hong Van. Sandra is in the house. I'm so glad you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Evidently, he drinks his coffee through his nose. I've never heard of that, but you do you, my friend. Wendy's in the house. Looks like maybe Eileen is here. So I am so happy to see you. So listen, I am kind of just flying by the seat of my pants here, and you are welcome to DM me or make a comment that you want to join the stream. So I'm happy to invite you to join me, and I can answer a question. You can practice your pitch. You can tell us what you're all about. You can share like who would be the dream person for you to connect with on LinkedIn this weekend or this coming week. Really kind of anything. I mean, my purpose in being here is to be your career BFF, right? So think about that result that you get from talking to your best friend, right? And then just add the extra level that you got a recruiter in your pocket and someone that knows how to coach people through job search strategy, as well as like the mental twist that comes with trudging the road to your happy position. My spelling bee victory. What did I spell something wrong? Dan, you're always trying to throw me off. Great to meet you, Joffrey. Welcome. Anthony in the house. Awesome. We might have to get into some more LinkedIn questions. We have Crystal in the house. She is half alive, but coffee brewing. I love it. So if you're interested in jumping up on stage with me and want to bring your coffee and your questions, I'm here and I'm totally comfortable with a little bit of silence. So if you're, not sure, ask the people in the comments. What you see is what you get. So I will be, super glad to have you up on stage with me. So I do this also because I don't have necessarily the bandwidth during the week with my full-time job with Rocket Power to do as many strategy sessions. So this is a great way to jump in, get support, ask questions. You can drop questions in the comments and I can try to triage and support you here, or you can join me on stage. And, Dan, you're always welcome. Wendy, Hong, anyone that is here, I'm super open to have folks come up. In the meantime, I do want to share a couple of things while you all find your courage and gumption to message me to come up on stage, is a couple things that are going on. Next week, my friend April Mason is hosting a Level Up Your Career series that is free. So I highly recommend that job seekers take advantage of these types of resources. I am one of the speakers, and we recorded a really powerful conversation. And it's the first time I'm kind of sharing this vision for a movement that has been coming up and brewing within me for quite some time. And it's based on my personal journey, having a squiggly career myself. This is why I work heavily with, those that maybe have had a career pivot, that, kind of feel like the professional underdogs or the career misfits, right? We've all had, likely a situation throughout our career that's kind of knocked us off kilter, and we've had to heal and we've had to recover, and we've had to find that resilience and that purpose and that meaning. So I'm going to share the link to take a look at the Level Up Your Career series in the comments, so you can check that out. And I definitely recommend that you follow my friend April, because she does a great job in supporting job seekers and career changers. So here is her information a little bit. You can see her past post about the event, and I believe it starts in just a couple of days. So I will drop that in the chat for you all. All right. So Dan's blowing up balloons for his girls. Happy birthday to those sweet little girls. You're doing such an awesome job as a father. And I can't wait to see what these little women become and the impact that they're going to have based on how you are showing up, my friend. So they're getting so big. Anyway, happy birthday to the little Roth girls. Cresta is in the house. Awesome. We have Elizabeth said she could hop on for a few minutes. Extremely nervous. Okay, I got you. And then Anthony is here. Get your questions in, people. Anthony, you may have to come up next after Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, I'm going to send you the link. So just hang tight and I'll get that over to you. I got the link copied. So jumping over here. How's everybody else doing? So what kind of coffee drinkers do we have here? I am a bulletproof coffee girl. I love Kerrygold Irish butter and coconut oil. So I put a little dab of each of those in my coffee, and then I add some collagen, and then I blend it all up into a little blender, and then I drink it, and it makes my brain super happy, and it also like staves off some of the hunger first thing in the morning, and I just love it, you know. So I don't like a lot of sugar, I don't care for, artificial sweeteners, and this like gives it some like foam and depth and just yumminess. So I know we saw an iced coffee drinker, we have tea and hot chocolate lover. Chandra, I love a like good mocha. I'm that super annoying person when I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I'm like, can I have half hot chocolate and half black coffee? And they're like, you want the Dunkin' Chino? And I'm like, no, can you just put half black coffee and half hot chocolate? Because the Dunkin' Chino recipe is very different than just half and half. So Anthony said he found creamer is not great for you, so a little milk and sugar. Are you a dairy milk guy or oat milk or an almond milk? They have so many milk alternatives. I had like soybean milk when I was touring New York earlier this summer, so that was fun. Wendy, Green Mountain Southern Pecan. Okay, here's another question. Do we say pecan or pecan? And we know, Dan, I'm drinking Modern Times coffee. It's a brewery that makes coffee as well. Nice. I really want that Pete's franchise that's out in California to come to the South. That would be amazing. I had one of their like iced, it was like an iced mojito, but it was like coffee. It wasn't alcohol, but it was like life-changing. My friend June Calruso took me there when we were when I was visiting out west. So let's see. Nothing moves without light coffee being the oil in the industry runs. No coffee, no movement. So fun, so fun. So let's see if Miss Crystal or Elizabeth is going to join us. I believe it was Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth Grace. Okay, I sent you the link. So just click on that and just follow the instruction. Oh, there. I think I see her. Awesome. Okay, let me bring you up. Hello. You just want to unmute. So let's just turn off your other screen.
There we go. I got it. So sorry. It took me forever.
Welcome. So nice to meet you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I am super nervous.
That's okay. I still get nervous. And part of the reason I go live, Elizabeth, is because this is massively uncomfortable for me. So I started going live 10 weeks ago. Thursday, I celebrated my 10th live. And it gets easier, right? And this, like doing things like this, pushing this kind of edge, it will build confidence for interviews, right? It's like learning how to allow your nervous system to kind of work through that process. And then it's also like, I step into this power of, if not now, when? Like, who gives a crap? Like, what do we have to lose? We're just having a conversation. And we never know the question that you may have or your willingness and bravery to step up here and ask a question. You are providing hope and like permission for other people to, get support and be a part of this process. So, I definitely get it. Just take a deep breath, be yourself. We're just having a coffee and conversation. So, where are you tuning in from?
I live in Middle Tennessee. So
okay.
It's still fairly early and I do have my iced coffee.
Nice. I ran out of time. And so tell us a little bit about you, personally, professionally, and any, particular questions that you have. Are you in active job search? And, myself and the crew that's here today can be of service.
Awesome. So I am a special education teacher. I have been for about 10 years, and I am looking to transition into either a coordinator position or product or project management. I'm mostly interested in the fields of education, ed tech, or learning management systems. However, I am open to other opportunities.
Awesome.
Kind of exploring the big new world. I started becoming active on LinkedIn about a month ago. I know it's been super exciting. And so I've been networking with a lot of wonderful people. One of them is Karen Birchwood. She's a phenomenal coach. And Tommy Pastor is wonderful. I'm just meeting all kinds of cool people. Tammy Nelson. So if anybody wants to hit up those names, they are fantastic.
Yeah, you'll have to come back and share them in the comments so people can follow and connect with them. So, we've seen a lot of teachers coming to LinkedIn, and the way I understand it is traditionally when you are teaching or in that space, it may not be advised to be visible on a platform like LinkedIn. Is that right?
I think if you are still working as a teacher, that might be the case. I actually am I am actually unemployed at the moment. I'm working on certifications. I'm working on the Google project management certification as well as many LinkedIn ones. And I did not leave my school in a bad position, so I didn't feel bad about leaving. I was working for a completely virtual public school, so I was working remotely, hence I still have my beautiful background.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes. And so, but that particular school was undergoing essentially they were going to have to lay off some people. And so I did just kind of decide to gracefully bow out. And so there was another person that got to take my position that really, really wanted it. So.
Okay. So you're active on LinkedIn. You have some clarity around where you're looking to go. Did you catch our live yesterday around project, product, and program management? Wasn't that amazing?
It was truly phenomenal. And I connected with every single one of you, and you've all been so real. That's the thing I love. You're all so real in being willing to share your advice and information. And you put it in such a way where I don't feel like you're up on a pedestal forever.
Exactly. And that's the other thing, like a lot of times in this space, like you see how people show up on the platform and you're like, it's this weird, conflict where you're like, oh, I can't like reach out to that person. And that's why I love going live, is because it's like, actually what you see in my photo is like what you get when you spend time with me. So is there anything in particular that you're struggling with or that's getting in the way of the results that you want? And before you answer, if it's okay with you, I'm going to bring up a fellow coach, April Mason, who is doing that Level Up Career series. So then you get two perspectives to help kind of triage any particular questions. Does that sound good, April? I'm going to bring April up and kind of reorganize this a little bit. Well, no, that's not exactly how. Okay, that's a little bit better. April, welcome. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? I'm just impressed that you know how to do this. So hats off to you.
It's progress, not perfection. I am constantly learning here myself. So it's an exercise in humility for sure. So we have Miss Elizabeth here, who you heard is a transitioning teacher looking to get in program, project, operations support, it sounded like. And I just asked her, obviously dipping her toe into LinkedIn and starting to network it is like, a huge part of the process. But was curious if there was a, one particular like sticking place that we might be able to help, get you unstuck or provide some additional support.
That is a lovely, lovely question. The honest answer is I don't know. I think we're all just all of us job seekers are kind of bumbling our way through this process. I did take some time and completely revamp and remade a banner and updated my profile picture on LinkedIn the other day. And I think it's better by a lot than what it was. I have been working on my resume, but sometimes I know I have a lot of transferable skills to their area of project management, but sometimes it's really hard as an educator to be able to put those into metrics, and because that's what they're really looking for, is showing your success, being able to show those metrics and how much something has improved over a course of time. What kind of deliverables did you have from the project? And so in my case, as a special education teacher, my projects were students. I would have to write individualized education plans for each and every student, at least one per year. And this past year I had close to 50. And we had, for some of them, I would meet like 3 and 4 times. You make goals, you make key results, you make objectives, and you create a plan with multiple stakeholders. So there's a lot of transferables that go into it, but being able to put all that on paper in a resume can sometimes be kind of hard. So I have been working on that. I think it might be okay the way I've written my resume. Maybe. I could always use more feedback, obviously. And then my cover letter, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the cover letter is almost the hardest part. Just making sure to put everything eloquently, yet still have your own personality come through.
Right. Well, the first thought is I thought about Catherine Standish from the show yesterday, and the way she talked about when she was interviewing and how she positioned language in her resume was, she painted the picture that her customer was an administrator or a parent. And then she would walk through the, how she solved, the situation, the task, the action, the result. So, it's really just looking at some of these job descriptions and going, point by point and trying to pull out stories. It could be personally and professionally, because there are things that are leadership related that aren't just in those hours from 7 to 3 p.m. right? So it's also finding an accountability partner where you can just audibly process and kind of talk through things. And I know as a coach, and this is what the other Anna Anderson and Melanie and folks do, is just asking those curious questions. So, if you need more support to build up those stories, I think that is a great starting point. April, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, can I just workshop a little bit real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Elizabeth, can you tell us one story, like of a student that you worked with? One of those that you said you had to rework the plan several different times. Tell us about where it started and tell us about the result. What resulted from that reworking and, beginning of the year to end of the year?
Oh, goodness. Put me on the spot like that. I see it. Okay, let's see. Generally, I would probably do a better job telling the story, so don't judge too much right now. But this is just
no judgment zone.
So I
absolutely
did,
and the point is Elizabeth, that when you start to just talk like this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be doing on when it comes to your resume. You don't need to work on it at first. You just need to get it all out. So this is exactly what you should be doing on your own.
Okay. That's actually really great advice. So I did have a student, and this particular student had multiple disabilities. They had autism, as well as significant reading and math deficits. And so this particular student was approximately probably about 3 levels below his current grade level in reading and about 2 in math, which can cause some significant delays as far as being able to understand grade level curriculum. And so for this one particular student, we met at the beginning of the year. His mother was phenomenal. She was one of those that she wanted to make sure that she advocated for her student to the best that she could. She wanted everything for him. The only issue was that she also wanted, oh, that's really nice. Thank you. She also wanted him to have all of the accommodations under the sun, and to get certain accommodations, which is things that we can give the student to help them succeed in a general education classroom. And to qualify for those, you actually have to meet certain criteria. So this particular student wasn't necessarily meeting all the criteria to get all of the things that this mother wanted. And so this student was just going into middle school. So from elementary, where you have all of the support, to middle school, where they start having to fly a little bit more on their own, she just wasn't comfortable with it. She didn't want to, give that student just a little bit of a chance to show and shine what they could do individually. And so it took a lot of different times meeting to kind of get her to realize that, okay, so at that first meeting, we did meet. I said, I see and I hear all of your concerns. Why don't we continue to monitor and actually see where he's at, see what this student can do on their own, and then let's reconvene in a month, go over all of the data and see what we can do then. Let's see if maybe he will qualify for these additional accommodations at that time. But also, I wanted her to be able to see the data that he could fly on his own. So it could have gone technically either way. Well, this student shined. We let go a little bit. They didn't need as many accommodations at that time. And I mean, they started skyrocketing in their reading level just because we actually let them do more independently without hovering and being kind of a helicopter over them. So this student, we met again in a month. The data was starting to show results. The parent was like, okay, I'm still not 100% comfortable with this. I really want us to continue heavily monitoring and just making sure, and let's see where he's at again. So then in like another month, we met. Data is still trending upward. Students getting more confident, kind of starting to show his personality more at middle school level, starting to make more friends. And the parent at that meeting was like, this is not at all what I expected. I honestly expected him to crash and burn, but he's not. So I'm more comfortable. Let's continue to monitor and let's see if we can meet maybe again in 2 or 3 months as opposed to maybe 1 month. So the times in between meetings started getting longer, and she started having more faith in her student and realizing that he really could do what she did not think he could. Just give him a little bit of freedom, a little bit of a chance to shine.
And where did he end up at the end?
It took about 1.5 years to 2 years approximately to get him on grade level, but he did after 2 years get to on grade level in both areas. So I'm super excited.
That's huge. That's huge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's huge. So as an employer, like what I see is advocacy. I see patience. I see using data. I see, you know what I mean? Like, so
I also see like reflecting, concerns, like that relationship builder piece, setting boundaries and timelines and expectations, like stepping into the role of the advisor, the expert, and building that trust also, which is really important. And I thought it was key that April asked, like, how long did it take? So that quantifiable piece. And then, how many meetings did it take to get to that point? But I mean, I think you're on a great start. I mean, you remind me a little bit of Catherine in the regard, when she speaks, and it's also, you can tell the passion from that experience of, really changing that student's life, and then potentially the relationship between the student and the parent or teacher, and that whole experience. And, that ripple effect is immense. So I think it's more practicing. I mean, as a recruiter, one of the most common things I see is that people just don't know their resume inside and out. It's not necessarily the resume, but it's the stories where they can tell them confidently. So anytime you have a chance to walk a situation like we just did with you, take that as often as you can, whether it's to your, kids, spouse, animals, to yourself in the mirror, or to, one of the many coaches that are out here on the platform. Did you have anything to add, April?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's great advice. And so each time you tell that story, look to get more succinct. And that's the same thing with your resume. So you're going to start with if I were writing a bullet point, I would start with that student, where they began, where they ended. And like Anna said, how many meetings it took to get there. And with me, I don't have any problem with 2-sentence bullet points. You know what I mean? Like, to really describe those details. But then what you've done is you've left an employer enough to where they want to talk to you. And then you get to go into the interview and tell that story. And so exactly what Anna said. And that's how you write a resume. You're crafting your story in a results-oriented way that appeals to employers, even though, and that's how you just did what you said you wanted to do. Those transferable skills, they can see it now. Oh, I can see how Elizabeth fits on my team because I need that. I need someone advocating for my call center. I need someone advocating for, you know what I mean? They know what they need, and you've just shown them that you have the skills they need.
I had never actually thought of it that way before. So thank you. That's really wonderful.
And then this is the immense result that I love to create by showing up here. Miss Jennifer would love to speak with you. She's writing an article on transitioning to the PM professional, and would love to share it with you. She's sharing her experience, strength, and hope, right? So definitely connect with her in the comments. But if you're not a part of the Job Connection Tuesday group, definitely join. If you can join April's event coming up this week, please do. I dropped the link, and I'm going to have her share a little bit more about how this started and what's going to be happening. But it's such a pleasure to get to know you, and thank you for having the courage to come up here. Do you feel pretty good now?
I think so. I'm still a little jittery. I have to hide my hands so you don't see my jitters. But I think so. This definitely is outside of my comfort zone, and I'm striving to do that more and more to build my confidence and build myself in becoming more comfortable with doing things like this.
Yeah,
so I really
you're well on your way. You will crush it. And we're going to continue to be here to support you and send you great, job snatching vibes. And, I always tell people, just be a career BFF, right? Like, share your knowledge, connect other people, go out and give, and then you're earning the right to make the ask, right? To, think about who that perfect organization or industry that you want to connect with. So LinkedIn is an amazing place, and it is with us our entire career. It is the best career insurance out there. And so, since you're new, I just want to leave you with stick around till the miracles happen, is what I say. And then once you land your position, don't leave, stay, make it a part of your regular process, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, right? And people get jobs, they leave, and then something unexpected happens. And then they're like, oh my gosh, my network is so cold. I don't know what to do. I wish I had been networking more consistently. I wish I had been building my brand. I wish I had been telling my leadership voice. So just stick around. We're going to be here to celebrate with you when you land that position, and message me or, anyone in the group that's here today to get support and continue having these conversations. Okay.
Absolutely. And if you heard the thudding a moment ago, I have two boys and they're wrestling upstairs. So everybody,
my dogs are about to bark as well. So I'm going to pop you back down in the audience and into the comments. And thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to continuing to follow you in your success. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day. Oh, that was so fun. Was that amazing?
That was awesome.
Anthony said, Elizabeth will be a full force in her interview. Great job. Love the story. So I'm just connecting or catching up on a couple. We have a bunch of comments here. So what are you up to this morning? Probably planning your big event, right?
Yes. And I was working on a flyer in Canva. That's one of the skills I'm learning. So I can send out to all of you to, inform everybody better, what this will be about.
Yes, absolutely. And I have your landing page up here. I didn't know if you wanted me to show it and kind of tell us how this got started, a little bit about yourself. what people can expect through this experience? How does that sound?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
So how it got started is kind of like what you were saying with LinkedIn, like realizing that that there are that I have I mean, this, I don't want this to sound, like like I'm bragging, but that I have a gift. You have a gift. You know what I mean? Like our skill sets have given us this gift to be able to support those who are in a transition, who are job seekers, and so it came about in a twofold way. One, how do I get the word out about my gift? And then as I started this, realizing how much collaboration there is out there, how many people there are like you with gifts, and how many job seekers have no idea. How many people are just going it on their own? One of my clients had sent out 300 job applications with nothing. Nothing.
Goodness.
You know what I mean? And so it's like that's the reason I do this, is because of those stories, and just the heartache and the defeatedness. It's not really the word, but that goes along with that, because then you start to feel like there's no separation. It's like, well, what's wrong with me? I must not be blah blah blah, and it goes down that path. And so that was the genesis of this. And so, the Anna Morgans and the David Altos and there's so much incredible wisdom out there. And this is a platform that brings all of that wisdom, not all of it, but a good portion of it together for those who are in these places. So yeah, exactly what I said there. So if you just want more of what, more of anything, more of more money, more recognition, more responsibility. We talk about toxic job environments, but you don't know how to exit. You don't, you want more freedom, you want more happiness, you want more satisfaction. This is one of the places where you can get those wheels turning as you're listening to people like Anna and the speakers in this. That's what it's for. It's to get your wheels turning
and to inspire, to take action. Right? Maybe to think a little bit differently. I always say this: there is no cookie cutter way to execute a job search, because we're all uniquely different, and there are areas that we have to examine, level up, tone down, opportunities to improve, get clarity, heal. There's all different aspects in order for us to show up and be able to successfully execute this, right? Because these are life decisions, and we are feeling the magnitude of the heaviness, the emotional twist of looking for a job. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of this, is that a lot of the speakers like myself, we are champions of mental health, of neurodiversity, of, thinking out of the box, and, really tuning into, more than just the, apply, execute, nail the interview, be the perfect job seeker, right? Because there's a lot of underlying work that needs to be done to really kind of step into, really being radically honest with ourselves about what is going to be the next best move for us, right? And where you said, like, a lot of people in the fall tend to like take the pedal off the gas, and they're like, oh, I'll just wait till the first of the year. Well, this is not the time to like pause, because one, hiring picks up fourth quarter. And then two, if you wait till the first of the year, you are like quadrupling your competition, because everybody else is like, okay, I made it through 2022. And now I'm going to look for a job. So tell us a little bit about like the structure. How did you come up with this idea? It's all pre-recorded? Are there live sessions? Is there networking opportunities? Like walk the folks that here through that.
Yeah, great questions. So this one is pre-recorded, and so
Okay.
it starts on August 25th. So register before. You can still register on the 25th or even after, but register on before the 25th if you can, because on the 25th you'll receive day one interview, and you have 24 hours to watch that on demand, so that you can watch it, during your lunch or after work or what have you.
Awesome.
Yep, and that's free access. And so the next day at 10 a.m. Mountain, I'm in the Mountain time zone. So at 10 a.m. Mountain, you'll get day 2, and day 1 will be shut off. And then, so then day 2 comes into your inbox. You get 24 hours to watch that. Day 3 and on until day 21. So there's 21 opportunities here. And like you said, different, we're talking about burnout. We're talking about transition. We're talking about getting clear on your values. We're talking about communication. So every one of these topics is centered around leveling up your career in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to be able to access them longer than that 24 hours, there is an opportunity to upgrade, so you can access them for a year after this. And again, anytime. And we also have a private, so when you join, there's a private LinkedIn group. So there's opportunities to interact directly with those that you heard. And so, so if I found my current business coach through a summit like this. And so that's why I love them too, is because like you said, Anna, it's not just one, it's not cookie cutter. And so you might hear someone that you really resonate with, and then you get to go, look at the book they wrote, or, listen to their podcast, or, and there's multiple routes. Some of them you can get one-on-one coaching. Some of them have series, podcast series where you can just start to consume the ideas of that person that you really resonated with. And so lots of opportunity. We've got one where if you were thinking about a side hustle, maybe you love your job, but you just kind of have this feeling like there's more for you. There's one about, can I start a side hustle and how do I do it? That one's really fun too.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And I would say like a quarter of my clients over the last 2 years have developed a side hustle or a business of some sort, because, either they were, this kind of career misfit and were multidimensional, which the corporate entities don't necessarily, I don't think they know what to do with some of us that have lots of different skills, right? And so they've gotten UMAP certified, or they become like a business manager, a VA, while leveling up to move into recruiting. So it's definitely that's pretty exciting. And I know that we had a really exciting and new conversation, and the content that I shared with you is something that has been brewing with me in me for a long time. And it's something that I am going to build a movement on in the next year, and it's going to blow up, and I'm excited, and it's going to change people's lives. And it's simple in theory, but it's so powerful, and it addresses some of this like mental trudging and hard times that we're seeing with the amazing people that just want to work. So it's
and there's
exciting.
and one more thing to address some of that mental trudging. We've also got a really special opportunity for a 90-minute peak performance training. And so Natalie, and I don't pronounce her name very well, but Marushak. Anyway, she's one of only 7 of Tony Robbins' peak performance trainers. So basically, she works with and is trained directly by Tony Robbins as part of his company. And so she's offering a training specifically for those who register for this series on August 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And so in order to get an invite to that, you do need to be registered for the Level Up Your Career series.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't have much, I haven't followed or consumed much of the Tony Robbins like influenced folks. So I'm, very curious to
Curious,
see
yeah.
what
It's
that
all
is.
about taking action, just everything we're
Right.
talking about. It's all about, it's all about moving the dial, stepping forward, just like Elizabeth that we just talked to. It's like getting uncomfortable and just taking action, really.
Yeah, it's exciting. We have we have a lot of more comments in here. Joffrey said he resigned after a job, 3 positions at the same company, took a break. 2018, he can relate to writing out so many applications, getting less than 5% responding, and 2 interviews in 4 years. Yeah, so Joffrey, it's great that you're here, and I always encourage networking. If you're having that kind of experience, right? The more conversations you have, the higher likeliness things are to convert. And then, Anthony, did you have a specific question? I'm trying to go back in the comments here and see if I missed something.
And Jeffrey, I would suggest seeking support around your resume too.
Mm-hmm.
The client I mentioned, once we revamped her resume, she's got 3 interviews this week.
That's awesome. Yeah. And, sometimes we forget, if you're getting through, like, if you're sending out all these applications and you're truly applying to roles that logically make sense and you're not converting, then it likely is the resume, right? Same thing with the interview process. If you're getting first and second interviews and not progressing, then it's usually an indication that there's an area to tweak your interview presence or how you're telling your stories or how you're showing up in those interviews. So, it's the job search cha-cha, as I call it. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Yes.
I'm loving the networking that's happening in the comments. Dan and Anthony and Claire Davis is here. Do you know Claire Davis, April, by the way? Or Dan
No.
Roth? I need to introduce you to both of them.
Yes, please.
Dan Roth was a former client of mine who pivoted into recruiting and within a year landed a direct hire position at Amazon. And he is a diversity, equity, and neurodiverse champion. He runs the Job Connection Tuesday Collective, which has over 10,000 members. And that's a group of recruiters and hiring managers, as well as job seekers. And it all started from seeing a gap in the market of making a simple post on Tuesday saying, hey, if you're a recruiter, post your jobs. If you're a job seeker, let us know what you're looking for. And then he has just built this amazing community and is collecting, and connecting coaches like myself with Claire, who is a LinkedIn top voice as well. And she specializes in working with pharmaceutical sales folks and has amazing resources and does resume work as well.
Awesome.
So I'll definitely connect you all with them. So yeah, exciting that you're getting that PDF together and leveling up your Canva skills. That's always
Yes.
a good thing to have. And Anthony, he said, nothing in particular, was just hoping my page and resume aren't hot garbage juice like they were before. Yes, Anthony, you've made some really great progress on your profile. I've been meaning to sit down and record another Loom for you to give you some additional tips and tricks. But, again, there's no, you have to test different things out. And there are a lot of varying opinions, right, on how to do LinkedIn or how to optimize your profile. But there's ways you can track to see if it's working for you. But it's always interesting to go through that process because people have a hard time talking about themselves, right? They're like, I don't know what makes me magnetic and fantastic and fabulous and awesome. And, that's where it comes in handy to have coaches like us that can reflect back their brilliance and pull out those super cool, awesome stories and then help them put it together in a way that they feel good about and attracts their ideal opportunities. So it's really good stuff. So Claire says, Dan rocks. We're having a love fest in the comments. Top 5 favorite people in the world, and only person to get him to ship coffee across to Washington. I know. I'm still waiting on mine, Dan. So, Well, I am feeling pretty complete. We've had, a consistent flow of folks, like 18 to 25 people here today, which has been super exciting. We've been able to be of service to Elizabeth and pump her up and allow
Yes.
her to practice, her interview skills. And, I do go live every Thursday from my business page. I don't go live from this page where I have over 21,000 followers, but it's intentional because I like to have all my content nicely organized on my business page, and then people can easily access that, find it. And then it kind of separates my personal brand as a recruiter and then my, knowledge around job search strategy. So, and then Dan
Makes
says he
sense.
gushes about me to his wife. I have to come out and visit you. And I can't decide who I'm going to visit first. Is it going to be Claire or Dan, or should I just kind of figure out a way I can make it happen in one fell swoop? So awesome. Well, I'm so excited about your
Is it
summit.
Wyoming on your way? Or is Dan?
Where are you again, April?
I'm in Wyoming.
You know what? We want to go. Is that where Big Sky is?
Just north. That's in Montana.
Okay. We want to go ski out there eventually, but I think we're heading to Hawaii for the holidays this year.
Nice.
So
Nice.
super. If anyone's in Hawaii, I'll be on not the big island, Oahu, and then I think we're going to take a cruise. So that's my next big adventure coming. So awesome. Well, I'm super excited for this Level Up series, and thank you for everyone for sharing their coffee with me today, even though I didn't get a chance to do that. And I'm going to close us out. And April, if you want to hang around for a minute, we can catch up a little bit more. And I think we are complete. Thanks everybody for joining. Have a great day.